welcome to another episode of Dark Souls 2. In today's video, we're going to make our way to Castle Drangleic and see how much we can get done. Now, I apologize because this video is actually post-commentary. So yeah, I didn't record live con because I just wanted to play the game and not have to worry about trying to talk while playing. To get to Drangleic Castle, you come back to the Shaded Woods, or Ruined Fork Road, and there's three passageways, straight, left, and right. Well, the first time we came here, we went left, or we took the rightmost path. To get to the castle, we're going to take the leftmost path. Now this is where the game really takes, I don't want to say, the difficulty really steepens at this point in the game. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, the difficulty definitely sharpens up a little bit once you go to Drangleic Castle, and it's mostly because the enemies just seem to have more HP, I suppose. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, it definitely gets a bit more difficult at this point. But nothing too much, nothing I or yourselves can't handle. Uh, there's gonna be points in the game, in this gameplay, where I kind of stop and just stand there. I was actually referring back to my trusty guide, checking out item descriptions and such. Here you find a um, what's it called? Flexile sentry, and the best way I can say to deal with it, because this one actually fights differently than the boss Flexile from No Man's Wharf, because it fights mainly with its curved swords half other than the club half. So it's a bit more dangerous in my opinion. Uh, Now you can use ranged attacks like I did here, and he never aggroes on you from a certain distance. So yeah, that's really an easy fluke way to do it. And he always drops Twinkling Titanite for some reason. I'm not really sure what. Um, there's a little ambush here. If you run up trying to fight him in melee, you're gonna have to deal with that enemy coming from the left side path. And I actually pull up and check out this item description of this Dragon Slayer Crescent Axe, I think is what it's called. Yeah. The loved black axe of the gallant, shieldless Lothian gallant, formerly of Farosa. No warrior matched the ferocity of unbeatable Lothian, but he abruptly retired from the battlefield. Yeah, Farosa. That armor set actually comes up a little bit later in the game, and I bypass it. I don't make the effort to go retrieve it. So yeah, there's that little piece of information. Uh, Here, this is where you can either have a million souls or the four lords, I guess, four great souls, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have either of those, the doors won't open. You also see another Haid Knight. I don't really care. I think he drops the Haid Lance. Yeah, not something I want or care for, so he can just enjoy his time sitting. This particular area that we're about to we go after we go through this tunnel and it starts raining. Really, to me, it was really atmospheric the first time came through here, and I walked out and it started raining. I was thinking, oh shit, it's dark. You can see how everything's wet, and I was just like, damn, something's about to happen. But at this point, it's really nothing huge, so I'm not too worried about it. The thing about the castle is the I guess it can be spoken of all of Dark Souls 2. The enemies are really thick. There's a lot. It's you rarely deal with one enemy at a time. So yeah, that's something to be wary of, I suppose. There's also a crystal lizard, and I fucked around and let it get away. Also, don't talk to her. I was just when I recorded this episode. When I recorded this episode, I really just wanted to play Dark Souls 2 without. Not that when I do play and record live commentary, not that it really puts pressure on me, but I kind of feel like when I record and do live commentary, I should play well, play better, and it's really difficult to play a Souls game and do live commentary at the same time. So I just thought I would uh, I would just do some post com on this episode, and I'm really ready to finish this playthrough. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's another DLC coming out soon, and when it comes out and I purchase it and complete it, I'll probably do both DLCs with this character. Uh, yeah, I'll probably do both DLCs on a separate playthrough, but with the same character, because I got other games I really want to play and record. Uh, I need to. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do more Skyrim. Obviously, I really want to play Assassin's Creed, and I just got some other games that I want to play and uh, other series I'd like to start. But I don't want to burden myself and try and take on too much and do more than one or two series at a time. So yeah, I'm gonna try and finish up this one before I start another big one. Uh, these two stone ancient. I can't remember what they're called. I can refer to my handy dandy guidebook. When you fight, when you walk up, they're both what you assume are stone primal knights. That is what they're called, primal knights, mastodon knights. Um, they're both stone, so you assume that they're just stone statues. No, they come alive, and you have to fight both of them. And you have these two archers up here. Now this is where they introduce a new sort of lever system. You can see that urn sitting there, and you can see the hand of what appears to be a giant. Now, these enemies, when you defeat them, usually you would get the souls. Well, now the souls are absorbed by that giant you can see behind that urn. You can see him moving there. I completely ignore him because I didn't really think about this while I was playing. Um, this is kind of a lore point. The way and those two enemies, royal swordsmen, they're both infinitely respawn. Once I defeat these two more will spawn from the left side. But anyway, the giants and the souls being absorbed by those statues, that's kind of a lore point that I may touch on in a lore series that I'm thinking about starting and might have already started. But yeah, so there's that. It's really an interesting thing, but these guys will follow you inside, so you have to be aware of that. And then you got the Cyan Knights. They always use the shield, and just the shield, man, the shield. But yeah, their armor is actually really cool, and the helm of their armor. I don't like their armor. The armor looks cool on enemies, but then when you put it on the your character, it doesn't look the same. So my preferred armor set is actually the Mastodon set, or the Rusted Mastodon set with the Cyan helm. I really like the way it goes together. So there's a little bit of information for you. But yeah, there was a NPC up there that I didn't talk to because he really just sells magic arrows. Uh, and I don't need them. Honestly, I don't really. I'm not. Well, I may need them in the next episode when you see where this episode ends off. So I may backtrack and get some. Who knows? Who knows? Um, we're actually coming up on the first bonfire here. Dun, 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 dun. First bonfire. Yeah. Now in this room, there's several doorways. Inside, most of these doorways are what is the name of that boss? The Ruined Sentinels. There's Ruined Sentinels inside the doors, and the doors open by absorbing the souls of those stone knights, which you kill outside. The Ferocin set, the Mastodon. I think it's the Mastodon Greatsword. Uh, there's several good items inside that room, inside the side rooms of that bigger room. But I didn't have any call or need for any of the items, so the Ferocin set is actually the armor set that's shown on the cover of Dark Souls 2. So if you're looking for that, that's where it's at. It's on the farmost left door, I believe, or perhaps the farmost right door. Mm, I'll look and put it in an annotation on the video after it uploads. Once it uploads, this room, run in and roll the fuck through it. These masks on the wall shoot you with poison. Also, do not handle this situation the way that I handle it. I make it through, but I really struggle. 3 Cyan Knights in here. I get the attention of 2 of them, and I get overwhelmed and have to retreat. But there's nowhere to retreat to. And you can see here, they're just kicking my ass. And I get to this doorway, and I'm like, damn, I can't just run up in there, because I'm going to get my ass handed to me. But I had nowhere else to go. So I just rolled through there, and thankfully, my adaptability frames got me through there. Apparently the Cyan Knights aren't affected by the poison darts that the masks shoot. I suppose it's really not hard to go through there and just roll through. So that's kind of nice. But you got to be really careful to not to fall here, because the orange water is acid, and it will not hurt it won't hurt your player character. If you take all your equipment off, you can just run through there, all day long. So that's kind of nice. So, yeah. The large picture on the wall is a picture of Nashandra, King Vendrick's Queen Nashandra. Don't get close to it because I believe it causes petrification. I may be wrong. Here you get invaded by the Nameless Usurper, which oddly resembles an NPC in the game that I can't remember the name of. But it's actually when she invades, she uses all physical attacks, which is really interesting because of who she really is. Because it's Nameless Usurper, but she has a name, so yeah. We're actually about to come up on a secret bonfire. I think I find it in this video. Pretty sure I get it and the Hunter's Black Bow. The Nameless Usurper. Now I'm reading this verbatim from a strategy guide. A mysterious woman clad in the robes of a Lindelt cleric. Her enigmatic appearance and her presence in Drangleic Castle leaves more questions than answers. Interesting, interesting. She is her name Lydia? That's not Lydia. I'm gonna flip over and find out though. Uh, she's the Faith sister. I don't remember her name though. Lydia of Lindelt. I think that's her name, Lydia of Lindelt. That's actually her, but she invades here and in I think one or maybe two more places, and she doesn't use her faith for some odd reason. Uh, but yeah, there's a secret bonfire and the Hunter's Black Bow down this ladder, and for the longest time I didn't know about either of those, so I mean I just didn't need them. And here we are about to talk to the actual, real Queen Nashandra.
You have fought admirably on your journey, cursed undead. I am Nashandra, Queen of Drangleic. A true monarch carries the weight of their souls. The last king of this land, King Vendrick, as he was called. He found the strength to rule his people, and when the undead were born cursed, he found more strength to face them, but in the end, he never took the true throne.
Took the true throne. That's kind of, she refers to it as the true throne. Now, I summoned someone for this boss fight, but it takes a little while, so I'm going to speed it up, and I'll see you when I get the summon. So we summon Keith McGee. I shot him a message, let him know this video was going up, so. Um, this boss, other than telling you to, the preferred, if you're fighting this boss alone, or these bosses, the Dragon Rider up top is a black Dragon Rider, and this one is obviously red. Now the black Dragon Rider has significantly less health than the red, and if you're fighting this boss alone, it's really a good idea to kill the black one first. When you get him to about 75% health, he'll drop off. He's up on a ledge and he'll drop off. So then you can fight him, and he uses the same equipment as the red Dragon Rider. So once he drops down and you kill him, then you're fighting this red one, and it's the exact same as the Hade's Tower of Flame boss Dragon Rider, except you got more room and you're a higher level. This boss may have more health than the Hade's Tower, but it's the exact same boss, same enemy type and moveset and everything. The only difference is they throw another one up top to shoot you as an archer. And that's what in the last video I mentioned, they kind of took a cheap way out. See, they could have had instead of having a new boss, they just reused a boss and added an archer to add difficulty, added more enemies, added to make it more difficult. Instead of having, a more difficult boss, they use more enemies to try and overpower the player, and that's just kind of there's several cases in this game. One would be the Royal Rat Vanguard. That's pretty much a Sif boss fight remake, but instead of fighting, because it's like a large rat dog. I don't know what the dog rat, and it is a large dog, almost like Sif from Dark Souls 1, but instead of just fighting that, you have that and 5 or 6 smaller ones that you have to deal with. And that, to me, is kind of a cheap way out to make a boss fight difficult, is to just throw more enemies at you. Um, those 3 Stone Knights that I aggroed, they always all 3 aggro. There's 3 on the right side and 4 on the left, and I think if you go to the left, then you have to fight all of them as well. You can't just do 1 or 2 at a time. So yeah, you can see my Claymore was at risk, so I'd go ahead and switch to my Drangleic Sword +2. And I mentioned in earlier episodes also, it's good to have a backup weapon, and that's why. So yeah, 45,000 souls. In this, we get Old Knight Hammer, and this one is Soul Great Sword, and I don't remember what the other one is exactly. Kathas Chime. Kathas Chime. Not really useful to me, but whatever. You cannot. This room is has it's kind of an asshole place. There's 4 along knight captains in this room, up on the ramparts, I suppose you would call them. And they snipe you with the bow, because that's what this game is all about, is just throwing archers everywhere. But whatever. You can't pull the Cyan Knights, so really no point in trying. But you can pull the Mastodon Ancient Knight, Mastodon Knight. Gosh. I'm trying to remember what's in those chests, because I don't get them. I don't have any use for them, really. So, yeah. Let's see. I believe you get... Let's see. You get 10 fire great arrows and the Pyromancy Firestorm. I don't have use for those, so I didn't get them. I didn't know when I was playing actually recording the episode. I didn't know what was in them. I just knew that I didn't want what was in them. So yeah, you get 10 fire great arrows out of one chest, and it's a trap. And you get the Firestorm Pyromancy out of the other. So yeah, that's kind of nice. The Pyromancy is, at least. I don't. The great arrows aren't really useful. What else? What else is there to talk about? This video is actually going to run a little bit long. It's going to run about 40 minutes, which I think the last one ran about that long, if I'm not mistaken. I'm making the episodes a little bit longer to try and get more content in, really. I don't really want to do hour-long episodes, because they take just so long to upload. So yeah, the 30-minute episodes don't take too long to upload, and I can usually get a good amount of content in. So I've been doing 40 minutes. And see, for this episode, it really does. 40 minutes adds on quite a bit, because I could have cut when I come back around to the bonfire, because this area I'm going through now, I'm about to come back on that bonfire after the 2 dragon riders, and I could have cut it there, and it probably would have been about 28-30 minutes. But Instead, I actually get another boss fight in, and I run it about 8 or 9 minutes longer. So, in this particular episode, it's actually really quite a bit of extra content. Now, these guys, I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish with all the great Alon Knight captains, and their archers, and I, it's really agitating. Really agitating. But that's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Oh, let's see. It's actually kind of interesting to have the Alon Knight captains here because they are also found in the Iron Keep. So it's kind of strange to think why they would be at Drangleic Castle, because the Iron Keep was I don't remember. I need to touch up on my Dark Souls 2 lore. The Iron Keep was actually a place that the Iron Keep is a kind of, it's the remnants, I suppose, of a castle. It's called Iron Keep, obviously, I suppose, because it was made out of iron. Um, but it was used as a place that used to host parties and things like that for the Iron King. But the Iron King is gone, and I would assume that the Iron King
Is that a show?
is who the Alon Knights served. Well, apparently not, because they're also in Drangleic Castle. But the Iron Keep could also be a settlement or an extension of Drangleic. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I've kind of just thought of that off the top of my head just now. You can see there. I actually leveled up my HP. I'm probably going to just, the rest of my levels are going to go into HP and stamina, because I got 30 Dex, 30 Strength. I don't need any more. And I may eventually take my weapons down elemental path, but I'm not really sure yet. As of yet. So, yeah. From here, we are going to go take on the next boss, but first you have to take this elevator up, up. And at the top is a kind of strange thing. One of the creepier things that it's kind of one of the creepier things that I find in this particular game. If it ever, God, that's such a long ride. Um, it was there's I don't know what it's called, what they call that entity, but the embedded, that's what it's called, the embedded. Really weird, really weird, makes weird noises, and just really creeps me out all around. Uh, you shove a key in its face, and it just weird. Now we're gonna go back down. God, it's such a long elevator ride. Alright, now that we're back down, we can open up this door. And the boss is actually just on the other side. Now, what I'm doing here is shooting these statues on the side, or actually, they wield. Oh, what are they called? Twin blades, and they're really aggressive and rather quick. But if you stay out of their, once you step down onto the small stairway leading down to the path, they will aggro. They'll aggro on you, and I think they aggro at timed intervals. Like the first one will aggro, and then several seconds later the next one will aggro. And I believe there's 4 all the way down on alternating sides. But if you stay out of their aggro range and use a ranged attack such as a bow, you can shoot them like this and kill them. So then you're, good to go. Now, that is the advised way to do it because they are very aggressive and they do attack with ferocity. They're really not strong, but they'll all aggro at once, and since they're all using twin blades, yeah. Um, I don't really know. I hope you didn't hear the background sound. Sorry about that if you did. What I wasn't aware of is that I thought that was Ben Hart's summon sign, so I left it and didn't summon it. It was actually another player. It was actually an online summon sign, and I walked away and it disappeared. So yeah, that actually happened. Because I haven't advanced Ben Hart's events up to this point yet. So I didn't get a summon for this boss fight. You can see here that I sped it up because I just ran around waiting to see if I could find a summon sign or wait one out, but nobody plays this game anymore. So we take him on. This is the Looking Glass Knight. Now he does a lot of physical attacks, but he also has a few lightning based attacks. So as long as you avoid the lightning based attacks and block the physical attacks, you're okay. Now you have to be aware of his shield because it blocks, it deflects everything. If you throw, there's one of his lightning attacks. The best way to deal with those is to just back up. He has some ranged ones that if you're at a distance, he will shoot a bolt of lightning at you, and one is 3 balls of lightning that come towards you. They don't home in, but the lightning bolt does. Anyway, his shield, it may have already done it. I really wasn't watching. I'm just kind of talking. But his shield, if you attack it, it will deflect. Even my Claymore +8, it just deflects right off. It doesn't take any kind of... No, see there, that was the lightning bolt attack. It just deflects. Oh, here he's using his through the looking glass attack. I believe when he does this, if you have a summon, you can break his poise out. Like you can stagger him out of that attack and cancel it. I believe now. I'm not for certain on that. There's a way you can cancel it. I know. But when this happens, when he uses that, if you're playing offline, such as I am, actually I'm not offline, but I guess he couldn't get anybody. If you're online, usually it'll be another online player that gets summoned through. But if not, then you can either have this guy wielding the halberd or a sword wielding. I don't know if it's a great. No, it's the great sword. He wields a great sword, and he'll be summoned through. So yeah, there's a way to cancel that. I can't remember if you attack his shield directly, or if you can attack him and stagger him out of it. But back to his shield, if you're using spells or faith, using miracles, if you hit his shield, it just deflects off in a random direction. So yeah, really got to avoid the shield. Sometimes you can kind of sneak an attack under it or through it because its hitboxes are kind of off, but you never can tell with the Souls games hitboxes. Um, but yeah, as long as you block his physical attacks and take advantage of his openings because his attacks usually leave him open for several attacks, and you can see my attack just flew off of him just there. You can see here he's trying to do it again, through the looking glass, to summon a phantom, and he summons it, but I kill him, and then so does his phantom dies as well. So yeah, he's not a really out of this world difficult boss, but he can be pretty difficult sometimes. In there was some bonfire ascetics, and I think it's a bonfire ascetic, and some dark quartz ring, and something else. I don't remember. I didn't really need it. I got it just for the sake of getting it. Now down this other long elevator, we're going down to. Where are we going? Uh, we're going to the Shrine of Amana. They actually nerfed it here a while back, and the mages, sorceresses, that used to be really annoying are still really annoying, but they don't do near as much damage as they originally did. So it's not a huge deal going through here anymore. Um, man, this has been a long post commentary video. We're actually coming to the end of the video here. Uh, I will definitely be seeing you guys in the next video very soon. I'm about to start uploading this one now, so it'll probably go up tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Also, I'm about to get on social media, Twitter. I'll link that to my account, put a link in the description. But until next time, guys, I'll see you guys here in Shrine of Amana.